So right after we did that, we had a complete failure. And
How much do you remember what your budget was for Ricky?
yeah, I already know what it was. It was $92,000. I did it.
All right, so you put up the 92,000.
92,000. We made 169,000. It was a complete failure.
The Social Proof Podcast. Streaming now on all platforms.
You know what I mean? We all got stuff that stops us from being successful. It's all in us. Whether or not your parents told you, your uncle didn't make it, your brother was supposed to go to the league and he didn't pull it off. Like whatever, we all got all this stuff and all these failures all around us, and it stops us from going for it or jumping, as Steve would say. Us, going outside of yourself and just really going for stuff. And I think that that is such a scary moment for an entrepreneur that's trying to succeed in life and trying to succeed in his business. And I think that moment right there is one of the key moments that every single successful entrepreneur has, and the ones who fail because they didn't jump. Right. They didn't do it. They all get to this one moment, and they don't know it's as big as it is. They have absolutely no idea. They don't know that even that one moment might lead to something else, or it might just be the moment that takes them over the top. For us, it was Steve Harvey, and that's what it was. It was the number was so big, I just couldn't imagine it. I just couldn't imagine it working out.
You could have easily said no.
We could have said no. And the thing that was crazy, we had just did a station not as big as his that was a complete failure.
Oh, so when you got to that crossroad, you have every reason to say.
So this one, I'm gonna give y'all real numbers. We're gonna go. So at the time, and I love Ricky Smiley, so this ain't about his show. We did Ricky Smiley. It was a complete failure. Didn't go well.
What'd you put up? Do you remember what you put up back?
But it was our fault. It wasn't Ricky Smiley's fault. They did everything possible for us to succeed. We didn't do enough investigation about the show. When I listened to the Ricky Smiley show, it was very, very young. They had the audience. They had 6 million people at the time. But it was a very young rap-ish show. Mm-hmm. And at the time, that's one of those lessons I learned. Numbers don't mean we're supposed to be there. We're not supposed to be there. And they love Ricky Smiley, and they had all certain elements, but it was definitely a younger show. It was more driven by the music opposed by the host. So right after we did that, we had a complete failure.
And how much do you remember what your budget was for Ricky?
Yeah, I already know what it was. It was 92,000. I did it.
All right, so you put up the 92,000.
92,000. We made 169,000. It was a complete failure. It's not. Trust me. People don't.
I'm trying to wrap my brain around. Put up 96. Got 100 and.
But you got to remember, you got employees. You got employees. You got product costs. So you got product costs. People don't understand that. You know what I mean? It's all kind of stuff that happens. So basically, we didn't do well. Those kind of numbers aren't. You're not going to be successful at those numbers. You think you made money, but you didn't make no money. So then what happens?
You know what the thing is? There's a huge difference between you and I'm starting to see it right now. You just see something bigger. Like, I can't imagine. So you put up 92,000.
Right.
And then you sell 100 and what?
We did 169,000.
169,000. Was it zero profit?
I would say we're really close to it.
So you might have made a little something.
Maybe a little something.
And like you look at, and you say complete failure. I say, if I got my money back, I failed. But you look at, like, you're seeing it from a different perspective. Like, if I didn't like really crush it, it's a complete failure.
But you know what it is? You got to think about, and for us in an herbal company, if you're not making $20 million, you're not doing nothing, period. You out here playing. You out here just absolutely playing. You just swimming in the shallow end of the pool. And that's what it is. You gotta look. This world is huge, man. We're on the internet. We're 24 hours open, 7 days a week, holidays, none of that matters. We have exposure to everything. We should do better. And we should. So that opportunity we had just failed. Right behind it, my brother made a brave move. My brother really smart. He's like, I don't think that deal was priced right. He's like, I didn't do good on that deal. We're gonna hire an outside company to do the Steve Harvey deal. So he did. We got a better deal on the Steve Harvey deal. Still a big, big number, much bigger than Ricky Smiley.
92.
Much bigger than 92. We did Steve Harvey. First day of the interview that we did it. Now, mind you, now this is remember we talked about the moment? This is the moment.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I'll give you real numbers. So at the time, the Steve Harvey show, they wanted me to invest $100,000 into the show. Guess how much? I just failed over here.
Right.
I only got $50,000 in the bank. Period. That's all I got. I don't have nothing else to my name. I only got $50,000. That's it. So they looked at. I was like, well, they were like, yeah. Do you want the opportunity? I said, absolutely, we want it. No question, we want it.
Where do you get that from? Where do you develop that? Like just bouncing off of L, like, yo, let's go.
Listen, we felt like Steve Harvey, that was the pinnacle show for us. That was the top of the line show for us. We felt like that show was everything. We felt like that was built for us. If I ain't gonna go for it now, what I'm gonna go for? Yeah. So I told them, I was like, yeah. I said, can we do something different on this one? I said, can we pay you 2 weeks after it starts? They said, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you just gotta ask. Cause I ain't got it. At the moment, I ain't got it. I was like, can we pay in like 2 parts? They was like, yeah, you can pay in 2 parts. So we paid $50,000 up front, and then we got 2 weeks to sit on the rest, and we got a chance to see what it's gonna do. Right. So the beautiful thing about that, we was right. The first day, like I said, we do an interview. So we did the interview. It made $56,000 that day. That's huge for us. We've never had a day like that. Right. But that wasn't the topper. Every day after that, we made $25,000. Changed our business, changed our perspective, changed everything. When it came 2 weeks, at 14 days into the thing, they was like, okay, our other 50,000, like, here y'all go. That was 4 days of work. The other 10 days, we had already just sat there and we were still eating. So then after that, we did another interview, made another $40,000, $50,000. Every day after that, we made another $25,000. Best thing I ever did. Changed my perspective, showed me how big the world is and how small we can't think. We got to start thinking like this opposed to like this. Because like I said, sometimes the failures in life, sometimes, like I said, your brother didn't make the league, your mother lost it, all these failures, it makes it so we don't reach for stuff. We don't reach for stuff.
Has it been maybe the people that you get around, like how do you expand that thought process? Because I think what's happening right now, you're expanding the way I see it, like just in this association. And I never get this conversation amongst my peers, right? Because we like same level. But like, how do you get to that? How do you start to think big and actually believe it?
You know what's so funny? My mother, I love my mother. But my mother really, she thinks small. She's amazed by the stuff that me and my sister and my brother have been able to accomplish. So I always ask my mom, I was like, this is how much it costs. Should I do it? She'd be like, no, you shouldn't do it. I tell her I always do the opposite. I do the opposite of whatever my mother say. She say go left, I go hard right. Because that's the way she think. Right. And it ain't her fault. It's just, that's the way she thinks. She think differently now because she got a chance to see all the stuff we've been able to accomplish. But that's how I used to, she'll tell you. She'll be like, nah, he do the opposite of whatever I say.
Wow.
So I just know because she thinks smaller and I know I need to think bigger and I need someone to help push me. So my mother pushes me indirectly. Right. She pushes me in a different direction. It's just that, you'll be surprised when you start hearing some of these numbers some of these companies are really, really making. And they're not even helping people. And they got crap products and they're out there kicking butt. But they got a great sales force. They got an incredible marketing plan. And that's why I realized it's more about that. But now if you have that and you have a great product, you'll change the world.
Wow. Do you have certain mentors that, kind of push
Steve
you?
Harvey definitely is one of my mentors. definitely someone that I can give a call and ask questions about. It's another gentleman by the name of Mark Antonazio who owns the Milwaukee Brewers. There's another guy that owns Brentwood and Associates by Bill Barnum. He's helped me a lot. Just helped me think bigger.
Yeah.
Help me think bigger.
What's your goal for, I guess, the people that maybe you mentor or you work with or coach?
Just to help expand people's thinking and just to realize that this world is limitless. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I said, we think so small because, for us, growing up in the hood and growing up in those environments, the only people that made it out was basketball players and an occasional actor or a comedian. Yeah. That's it. So, you know what I mean? So when seeing Black businesses really thrive and flourish and get bigger and bigger, we're actually helping our people.
Wow.
Just see things in a whole different light. Yeah. It's just,
I got two more. One, we were talking last time I was out here, and I guess Chris was, he was telling you what, some of the things I was doing, and you said something interesting. You was like, yeah, let me know what it is. I'm always up to invest in a business.
Right.
Why do you take that approach?
Because, man, I missed out on Uber.
Did you really? Did you have an opportunity?
No, not at all. That's the problem. So I'm letting everybody know. Everybody out there, if there's something out there that's going on, bring it to me. I'll look.
Right.
I'm the easiest meeting in town.
Right.
I'm always looking. I don't necessarily have the time for everything, but I'm definitely looking to hear. I'm like, okay. Sometimes people convince me. They come in here. I think we bought into maybe like 2 businesses this year.
What kind of level? Was it like they need 10,000 or was it like
mo-
higher than that, lower
Most
than
of them
that?
like 100,000. Somewhere around there, they need 100,000.
Did it work, any of them?
No, they all failed. They all failed.
Really?
They all failed. Every last one of them failed. But then I realized something about me, that it can't just be about, I have to make sure that I'm directly involved and I really want to spend time with those people to help them do it. Because everybody ain't got the juice. Like I said, somebody got to work at McDonald's, man. Just because you have it's 1,000 of great ideas out there without the execution, the dedication, and all that kind of stuff. Kind of like when we did Steve Harvey, man, we was down 5,000 orders. You know what me and my partners did? Me, my brother, Katarina's one of my partners. We were sleeping at the office every single day. We slept at the office for 2 weeks every
What do you mean
single
you
day.
were down 5,000 orders?
We couldn't fulfill 5,000 orders. We had 5,000. Like you could show up one day, it might be 6,000. We worked that 6,000 down to 5,000. We never could get past that 5,000. Took us a second to get down those orders. But so we had to literally sleep in the office for 2 weeks until we actually got every single one of those orders out.
Wow.
Because it's an amazing, you can't disappoint your customer. This is your one shot at it. You got to make sure they get it in a timely fashion. So that was one of the hardest things that we had to do, but they were all up for the challenge. Yeah. We slept in the office until we got it done.
What convinced you to invest in these businesses, the people that walk in? Is it the product or like the idea? Or is it the person that you fall in love with? Or is it a blend of both? Or what?
It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both, but I realized, like I said before, even if they have all of those qualities now, unless I plan on to be in it, it's hard for me now. Because I want to literally, because like I said, sometimes, you know what, I'll be like, damn, shit, I made it, man. I got to try to pull some other people up. Right. You know what I mean? I just feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. And that's what I genuinely try to do all the time, whether or not it's through information or actually giving people money and investing in their business, whatever it is. But I just try and I just realize unless I'm going to really, really do it, it's hard for me now. And it's sad that I feel that way now, but that's where I'm at.
Yeah, listen, if y'all see like a whole production with social proof, AD has something to do with it. All right. All right. So last question. I know you got a busy day, and I really appreciate you sharing, man. For outside of the podcast, like literally, I'm sitting here reflecting, like, yo, I got so much work to do. I see the world so small. I see business so small, bigger than maybe some of my clients, or
Right.
bigger than some of my colleagues. But like, you just got me to realize I see things so small.
Yeah, I mean, not that you know whether or not that's going on, but it's weird. Sometimes doing it the small way, it takes the same amount of effort to do it the big way. It just renders a bigger result. And that's a lot of times be like, nah, I'm just gonna do this over here. They'd be like, well, it's still gonna require the same amount of work
Right.
if you do this over here, and it can just render so much more.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was talking about, like, we did, over 500 people at Social Proof. I said, next year I want to do 1,000. And he started talking about, you was going to do your first conference. You was like, yo, I'm trying to have about 5,000, 10,000. I'm like, your first one? I wouldn't have the audacity to be like, yo, 5,000. But now,
But you
I
got
have it.
500. You can get 5,000.
Yeah,
You can easily touch that 5,000.
yeah.
Now you just gotta maximize all of that. So it makes it when 5,000 people show up, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it. So you gotta have all those little programs in place, to incentivize people to invest more into you. It's there. You got it's hard to get 5 people to show up. You got 500 show up. You can easily do 5,000. 5,000 is in your sleep.
Done deal. It's in my sleep, y'all. Y'all hear that? Listen, man, one more question. I always end my interviews off with the same question. I like to make predictions.
Okay.
And I want you to tell us where you see yourself, or what do you see happening in the next 5 or 10 years, so that when I look back at this 5 years later, I could say, yo, I remember AD said it 5 years ago, and look, or 10 years ago, look what he did. I got the footage. So
Okay.
give me your 5-10 year prediction.
On what?
Whatever. I don't care what it is.
5-10 year prediction. I'm gonna tell you this right now. I got one for you. So you know how they do fruit. We're gonna talk about food for a second. So you know how they made things more advantageous to people who want to buy it because it doesn't have seeds in it, right? Seeds is coming back.
Seeds are coming back.
Tell
What do you
me.
mean? Talk to me.
So they've genetically modified the watermelon. Once they genetically modify the seed within the watermelon, so now that watermelon doesn't produce seeds, right?
Yep.
They can own that now. They can own that now. So that's a genetically modified fruit now. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Based on what you were telling me earlier.
Right.
Where you can't patent a watermelon, right?
No,
Or
you can't patent a regular watermelon that has seeds and naturally grows. They can't own that. They can produce that, but they can't own it. So now when you own the seeds, no one can sell that seedless watermelon but you, unless they bought the seeds from you. Now they can go and produce it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Otherwise, you can find watermelon seeds from any watermelon. You know what I mean?
Right.
They can't own that. So eventually people are, if you notice the world is changing, people don't want what anymore? Genetically modified foods. They want more natural things. They want things that actually occur in nature now. So things that didn't have seeds it's gonna come back.
Would it be real seeds, you think?
It's gonna be, well, we would hope so. If it's not real seeds, they would own it. So genetically modified foods, as far as fruits and vegetables and things like that, will be no longer. It'll all reverse back.
Are you jumping into that space?
We do have a company starting called D Herb's Kitchen. So D Herb's Kitchen, one of the issues is that when people do the cleanse, they don't know what they can eat.
Right.
So now we have a menu, maybe in about another month it'll be out. It'll be a complete menu for you. It's gonna be a program called 232.
Okay.
232. So 232 is basically the first 2 days you're gonna juice. The 3 days you're going to eat raw foods. And then the last 2 you're gonna do a little bit of both.
Right.
And that's what it's just kind of curve your diet, change the way you eat. And it's kind of like, how people say, I'm gonna go vegan for 20 days.
Right.
But basically you're gonna go raw vegan for 7 days.
Gotcha.
And it's gonna help you control your weight for the month. It's gonna help you feel healthier for the month and hopefully change your lifestyle for the future.
Gotcha. All right, so I need 2 more predictions. One for D Herbs, the company, and
Okay.
then AD. I gotta save the the person for the last one.
Okay, so for D-Herbs for the company, D-Herbs will probably be doing in 5 years, 10 years?
5 years.
10 years. D-Herbs probably be doing at least probably $500 million a year. Easy. Easy. We'll probably be worth over $1 billion. Easy. Easy. You know what it is? We're just now starting to get out there. And like I said, when you do the right things happen. And that's what I honestly feel like, because most of these companies that we're dealing with, there's no fillers, there's no binders in our stuff. We're not, the capsules aren't gelatin capsules. They're vegan capsules. So everything that we do is completely natural, 100%. That, like I said, down to the capsule, all the way to the core of the product. Most companies won't do that. They don't like using vegetarian capsules because they say the product can get damaged and there's a lot of waste. Well, I'd rather people be actually to utilize it within their body. Gelatin capsules usually come from either a pig. You know what I mean? So therefore, it's an unnatural product off top already.
All right.
You know what I mean? So people don't know where gelatin comes from. That's where it usually comes from.
Gotcha.
So that's one thing. And I just think more and more, like I said, the name itself would become more synonymous with health and doing the right things and people that care. Because I don't bend because of money. People always say, oh, you can make more money if you do this. I'll be like, I don't want to make money that way. And I honestly follow that all the way. So that's why I really feel like in the next 5 to 10 years, that's where D-Herbs will be doing. Probably be worth over $1 billion, doing at least $500 million a year, and just kicking butt. And like I said, our space is big now, but it'd be 10 times bigger pretty soon. And as far as me,
I gotta hear this. I can't wait to see what you see for yourself.
You know what it is? I see kind of like what you're doing, inspiring people. You know what I mean? Helping people dream, making people see the future, helping them actually realize, those dreams can become their reality. That's what I really, really see for myself, because I really honestly, sometimes I'll be like, man, I'm the luckiest guy on the planet. But really, I just did the work, man. Every single day, I just got up and did a little bit. And that's what I did. Just kept going. Just kept fighting the good fight. And not really succumbing to the failures in life and the defeats and all this stuff and just people feeling beat down. People need that enthusiasm because we can do so much more. We can do so much more. And it's always nice when you help somebody else make it, help pull somebody else up. It's lonely at the top, but it don't have to be. You know what I mean? It's lonely there, but help some other people get up. Help some other people achieve some of these goals and dreams and motivate them and tell people what you did. I tell everybody exactly what I did. I'll be like, they were like, people gonna copy you. I don't care if they copy me. I want everybody to make it. It's enough out here for all of us. I think it's like 8 billion people on the planet. It's enough for everybody. It's enough for everybody. It could be another version of D-Herbs in Australia. It could be another version of D-Herbs in Africa. Because there's a lot of different opportunities out there. People have to just do it the right way.
Wow, man. I appreciate you, man. I'm super inspired. I'm ready to just go because I got work to do. I just got so much work to do. So if you want to just leave us with a gem, a nugget, something that people really need to know.
If you want to be successful in life, I would tell everybody, be consistent and persistent, and you'll be able to achieve everything.
Short and sweet to the point, man. Make sure y'all follow D-Herbs. AD Dolphin is here, man. Thank you so much. I
Absolutely.
appreciate you, my brother.
There you go.
Follow my boy. Peace.